Please, don't take my mommy. Asterisk. The borderline was long and cold. People stood for hours. Aliens, workers, families, all waiting for permission to pass into human territory. Guards moved slowly. Drones floated overhead. The air smelled like dust and fear. Liam, a human officer, stood with a scanner in hand. He didn't smile. He didn't speak much. His job was simple: scan, approve, reject. No papers, no entry. No excuses. He didn't care who they were or why they came. He had followed orders every day since the war ended. But that day, something changed. A woman stepped forward in the line. Her skin was soft violet. Her eyes were tired. She wore a scarf pulled low over her face, but it didn't hide the fear. Beside her stood a little girl, alien too, but different. Her features were mixed. Human-shaped eyes, alien-colored skin. She held a small cloth in her hand and didn't let go of her mother's coat. Liam held up the scanner. Papers, he said. The woman didn't move. Liam raised his voice. Your ID. She opened her bag with shaking hands. No ID chip, just some coins, old food wrappers, and a broken picture frame. I lost them, she whispered. Please. We're not here to cause trouble. Liam looked at the scanner. Nothing. No record of her. No family code. Not even the temporary number. That meant only one thing: deportation. He raised his hand. Detain her, he said to the guards behind him. No ID. No pass. The woman fell to her knees. Please, she's just a child. She's sick. We have no place to go back to. Liam didn't answer. He turned away, but then a small voice stopped him. Please, the girl said softly. Liam turned back. Please, don't take my mommy. Her voice was quiet, but clear. Her big, watery eyes looked up at him like he was the last person in the world who could help. She's all I have, the girl said. We ran because people were hurting us. Mommy didn't do anything wrong. Everyone nearby had gone quiet. Even the other guards looked unsure. Liam stared at the girl. He had seen 1,000 faces, heard 1,000 lies, but this wasn't a lie. This was a child begging not for freedom, just for her mother. He looked at the woman again. Name, he asked. Ziri, she whispered. And her, Lena. She's 5. Liam bent down to the child's level. Lena, do you have any family? Anyone else? She shook her head. Just mommy. He sighed and stood. His hand hovered over his scanner. One press would lock her in the system. She'd be gone by morning. But he didn't press it. Instead, he stepped to the side. Next, he said. The guard stared. Sir, Liam didn't explain. I said next. Ziri blinked. You're letting us through. Keep moving, he said quickly. Don't talk. Don't stop. She grabbed Lana's hand and walked fast. Silent. But as she passed, she whispered, thank you. Liam didn't answer. His scanner buzzed again. Next traveler. Next file. But his heart didn't feel cold anymore. Later that night, in his small room, Liam couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, thinking about the girl's voice. Please, don't take my mommy. He had followed orders for years, but that was the first time he heard someone say please like that. Not as a trick. Not to escape. Just honest. Pure. He looked at the scanner on his table. Then at the screen that showed border logs. Her name wasn't listed. He had wiped her scan. She was invisible again, but that also meant she was on her own. Somewhere on the far side of the city. Ziri and Lena sat in an empty storage tent behind a junkyard. The cold was sharp. Ziri held her daughter close. We're safe for now, she whispered. Lena didn't speak. She just rested, her head on her mother's shoulder. The man let us go, she finally said. I nodded. Yes. Why? Ziri closed her eyes. Maybe, she said softly, he saw us as people. Asterisk. You broke protocol for a child. Asterisk. Liam stood straight as Commander Jorik slammed a report on the desk. You broke protocol for a child. Jorik barked. Do you think this is a charity zone? Your scanner showed no ID, no clearance, and you let them through. Liam didn't answer right away. He had been called in early. No coffee, no rest. Just pressure. The small gray room smelled like metal and fear. Every wall had a camera. Every word was recorded. I made a call, Liam finally said. The woman had a child. They weren't armed. They were scared, and now they're undocumented inside city lines. Jorik growled. Do you know what that means? If anyone gets hurt, you will be blamed. Liam stayed calm. I'll keep track of them. Jorik narrowed his eyes. You think you're a hero. No, just someone who saw a mother trying to protect her child. The room went silent. Then Jorik leaned back in his chair. You've served 12 years. One more mistake. You're done. Understand? Liam nodded once. You're dismissed. Outside, Liam walked through the checkpoint again. People came and went, eyes low, hands cold. But all he saw was the little girl's face. Her words still echoed in his mind. Meanwhile, across the city, Zeri crouched inside a broken-down mechanic yard. The old owner, a human man with a soft voice and a metal leg, had offered her a place to hide for one night. She held Lena close under a dusty blanket. Lena's single quotes S face was pale, her skin hot, her breathing short. She's burning, Zeri whispered, touching her forehead. The mechanic looked over. Fever, city dust gets in the lungs, bad for alien children. She needs meds. Zeri panicked. Where can I get them? Black market or military clinic, if you want to risk it. Zeri bit her lip. She didn't have black market credits, and going near a clinic meant being caught, but she had no choice. Liam was walking home late that night when he saw her. I alone in the shadows near a clinic wall. Hood pulled low, steps careful. He moved quickly and grabbed her arm. Are you crazy? He whispered. You'll get arrested out here. Zeri pulled away, startled. My daughter. She's sick. Please. Liam paused. His mind raced. He should report her, but he did in single quotes instead. He took a deep breath and said, come with me. He led her through back alleys and old service paths, finally stopping behind a side door of the clinic. He typed in a private code. The door clicked open. You're risking your job, Zeri whispered. Maybe, he said, but your daughter doesn't deserve to die. They entered a small supply room. Liam searched quickly, pulling a med pack designed for children. Fever reducer, breast stabilizer, hydration vial. He handed it to her. Give her this slowly. It'll help. Zeri held the pack tightly. Why? Are you helping me? Liam didn't answer. Instead, he just said, go, before someone sees you. She turned to leave, but then she stopped. Thank you, she said softly. Liam nodded. Take care of her. Hours later, Zeri returned to the mechanic's shelter. Lena lay weak on the floor. Zeri held her close and used the medicine gently, just as Liam had shown. Within minutes, the girl's breathing steadied. Her fever lowered. And for the first time in days, she smiled. Liam sat alone in his small apartment, staring at his badge. He used to feel proud wearing it, but now, he wasn't sure who he was really protecting. My father was human. The next morning, Liam arrived early at the checkpoint, but his thoughts weren't on the line of travelers or the blinking scanner in his hand. His mind was still with the little alien girl, Lena. Was she better? Was she safe? He didn't know. He had broken the rules again, not once, but twice, and this time, there were cameras near that clinic. Someone would notice eventually, but even with that risk, he didn't regret helping her. In a hidden corner of the city, inside the old mechanic yard, Lena was resting under a sheet of blankets. Her fever had gone down. She smiled again. Her soft breathing filled the quiet space. I sat beside her, brushing her daughter's hair gently. Her heart felt heavy. She had lived so long in fear. But last night, for the first time, someone helped her without asking for anything. A human. Someone who could have destroyed them, but didn't. That evening, Liam returned to the mechanic yard after dark. He brought food, water, a small toy, a spinning cube with lights. He found Zeri alone outside, sitting on a box and watching the sky. She stood up fast when she saw him. She's okay, she said quickly. The medicine worked. She's sleeping now. Liam nodded with relief. I'm glad. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Zeri spoke. Why are you doing this? She asked. Liam looked at her. I don't know. Maybe because I'm tired of being the reason people suffer. Zeri looked down. Most humans, they don't care. Not about people like us. I used to be like them. Liam admitted, until I heard her voice. She didn't beg for freedom. She just didn't want to lose you. Zeri smiled, but it was a sad smile. She's strong, she said. Stronger than I'll ever be. Liam shook his head. You carried her across star zones, past checkpoints, through sickness and fear. Don't say you're not strong. Zeri's eyes filled with quiet emotion. Then she said something Liam didn't expect. My father was human too. Liam blinked. What? Zeri nodded. He was a translator during the early peace years. He fell in love with my mother, a healer from my world. They tried to build a life together. What happened? The laws changed, she said. Softly, humans were told not to mix. Those who already had were punished. My father disappeared. Some say he was deported. Some say worse. Liam's voice dropped. I'm sorry. Ziri stared ahead. I was raised as a mistake, she said. My daughter, Lena, she's part of the same truth. Half alien, half human, but no home. Liam clenched his hands. You both deserve one. She looked at him. We had one once. Lana's father. He was kind. Human. He loved us. But he was taken to. Liam's voice broke slightly. I won't let anyone take her again. Ziri studied his face. You mean that? Liam nodded. Yes, I do. Inside, Lena stirred and sat up. She saw the toy cube glowing near her pillow. A smile lit her face. Mommy, she said softly, did the nice man bring this? Ziri walked over and kissed her forehead. Yes. Sweet one, can he stay? Ziri looked out the door. Liam hadn't left. He was waiting. Quietly, maybe, she said. Just for a little while longer. Far away, inside a dark control room, a screen flickered with security footage. A soldier leaned forward and paused the frame. Liam helping Ziri at the clinic. The soldier made a call. Officer Liam, he's hiding undocumented aliens. What are your orders? A deep voice replied. Watch him. If he breaks protocol again, bring him in. Asterisk, you're not safe anymore. None of us are. Asterisk, the rain came fast that night. Cold. Then drops soaked the streets of Sector 7. I moved quickly. Her hood pulled low. She had wrapped Lena in an old coat and carried her in her arms. They had stayed along in the mechanic's shelter. It wasn't safe anymore. The owner had seen patrols nearby. Someone had noticed them. They had to run again. Liam checked his messages late into the night. One stood out. An alert from internal security. Your access logs show contact with known undocumented alien. Explain immediately. His chest tightened. They were watching him now. He knew what that meant. If he didn't report Ziri, they would come after both of them. And this time, they wouldn't ask questions. He stood from his desk, grabbed his coat, and left. I found an old warehouse on the edge of the city. It was broken, wet, and cold. But at least it had a roof. Lena was coughing again. SHH. Baby, Ziri whispered. Just hold on a little longer. She pulled a small blanket over her and held her close. The door creaked open. Ziri grabbed a metal pipe and stood fast. But it was Liam. Wet, breathing hard. You can't stay here, he said. I lowered the pipe, but her face stayed hard. No, she said. But where else can we go? Liam stepped forward. Come with me. I know a place. They moved through dark alleys, sticking to the shadows. I held Lena tight. Her small body weak and tired. Liam led them to an old apartment building. His mother's home before she died. It was empty. Quiet. No cameras. No records. He unlocked the door. Stay here, he said. They won't look in this sector. Not yet. Ziri placed Lena on a small couch and looked around. You didn't have to do this, Liam sighed. I can't undo the past, but maybe I can fix something now. He gave her dry clothes, warm food, and a heater unit. Lena finally slept again. Liam sat across from Ziri, both of them tired. They're watching me, he said. If they find you here, we all go down. You should walk away, Ziri said. Softly. Liam shook his head. I won't. Ziri's voice trembled. You'll lose everything. I already lost who I used to be. I don't want to go back. She looked at him with eyes full of fear and something else, something new. Trust. The next day, Liam went to work like nothing had changed. He scanned travelers, gave quiet nods, answered reports. But his mind stayed in that apartment, with a sick little girl who called him the nice man, with a mother who had lost everything, and still stood strong. Back at the apartment, Ziri opened a small bag she had hidden in her coat. Inside was a memory stick, tiny, cracked, but still working. She plugged it into the wall screen. A video opened. Her and Lana's father, laughing in a field of red grass. He wore a human uniform, smiled with peace in his eyes. He kissed Ziri's forehead. Then lifted baby Lena into the air. The screen glitched. I shut it off quickly and wiped her tears. That night, as the city slept, The armored soldiers knocked on Liam's apartment door. He wasn't home. One of them checked the scanner. His chip was used in Sector 3 last night, near a restricted zone. The other one looked up. Find out who he was helping. We need to know exactly who she is. In a distant bunker, an old general reviewed a file. Subject, Lena Zeriris, hybrid status, undocumented father, unknown human rebel notes. Blood type flagged. Hybrid contains dormant code, possibly tied to old forbidden programs. The general frowned. If this girl survives, he muttered, she could destroy everything. You're the reason they're still alive. They came for him before sunrise. Liam opened his eyes to the sound of boots on metal stairs. Before he could reach for his calm, the door burst open. 6 soldiers, no warning. They dragged him out of bed, slammed him against the wall, and cuffed his hands behind his back. His neighbor peeked from behind her door, then quickly shut it. No one said a word. Liam didn't fight. He knew this day would come. In the holding room, Commander Jorok stood waiting. A screen lit up behind him, showing images from security cameras. Liam helping Zeri outside the clinic. Liam giving food. Liam entering a hidden apartment with the alien child in his arms. Jorok stepped forward slowly. You're the reason they're still alive. Liam stayed silent. Jorok slammed the table. Answer me. Liam looked up. Yes, I helped them, and I'd do it again. Jorok's voice dropped. You betrayed your uniform. Liam's voice stayed calm. No, I honored it. The oath was to protect the innocent, not just the human ones. Hours passed. Liam was moved to a lower cell. No windows, no light, just cold stone and a steel bench. He sat alone, blood on his lip from one of the guards. Outside, Zeri paced the apartment in fear. Liam hadn't returned. Lena held her arm and asked softly, did the bad men take him? Zeri didn't answer, but her silence was enough. The mechanic who once gave them shelter brought a message through back routes. Liam has been taken. They plan to use him to find you. Zeri knew what she had to do. She contacted someone from her past, an old ally, part of the rebel movement her husband once led. The woman arrived in a hooded cloak. Her name was Rika. Strong eyes, no smile. You're putting the girl at risk. Rika said coldly, she deserves to live. Zeri replied, so did thousands of others. They didn't get special help. Zeri stepped closer. She's not special because she's mine. She's special because she's proof. She is both, and she's still here. Rika stared at the child, then nodded once. We'll help. Liam sat in his cell when the lights cut out. Screams echoed from down the hall. A loud explosion shook the walls. Then silence. The door opened. A hooded figure stepped in. Get up. Rika whispered. We don't have much time. Liam blinked. Who? Zeri sent me. They escaped through underground paths once used during the war. Smoke filled the air. Guards shouted in the distance, but Rika knew the way. When they reached the surface, Liam was coughing. And Zeri was waiting. She ran to him, eyes full of relief and tears. You came back, Liam said, surprised. I had to, she replied. You saved my daughter. It's my turn now. Back at the apartment, Lena ran into his arms. You're hurt, she whispered. Just a scratch. Liam smiled, holding her tightly. You scared me. I'm sorry, he said, but I'm here now. That night, Zeri sat across from Liam as Rika explained the truth. Lena's blood contains markers from both sides, human and alien. Strong, healthy, stable. If we show her to the High Council, laws could change. Liam looked at Lena, who was drawing stars on a napkin. So, you're saying she could end this? Rika nodded. Or she could become the reason they come after us harder. Zeri held Liam's hand under the table. We can't run anymore, she said. Liam looked at them both, Zeri and Lena. His voice was clear. That we don't run, we fight. Her blood could change everything. The plan had to be perfect. Rika drew a rough map on the table. The council station, its guarded gates, patrol patterns, and a secret service tunnel from the old war. Zeri, Liam and Lena listened carefully. If we get Lena inside, Rika said, and we plug her medical records into the main system, the world will see everything. Her DNA, her origin, her truth. They won't be able to hide it anymore. Liam frowned. And then what? They changed the law overnight. Rika shook her head. No, but it starts something they can't stop. Zeri looked worried. What if they take her instead? Rika met her eyes. Then you lose her forever. Zeri held Lena tightly. That won't happen. Liam said. I looked at him. You can't promise that. No, he said, but I can promise they'll have to go through me first. They moved at night. Liam drove a stolen supply truck. Rika sat beside him. Ziri and Lena were hidden in the back under a tarp. The roads were quiet. For now. Inside the truck, Ziri whispered to her daughter. Do you remember what I told you? Lena nodded. I have to be brave, even if I'm scared. Ziri kissed her forehead. You're the bravest girl in all the stars. Lena smiled. Will the humans be mad? Ziri paused. Some will, but others might listen. At the gate, Liam showed a fake ID. The guards scanned it, squinted, then waved them through. Move quick. He grumbled. Storm's coming. They entered the council district. Rika tapped the map. Service tunnels 3 blocks down. They stopped. In a back alley, lifted the cover, and climbed into the old tunnel. It smelled like rust and old war chemicals, but it was quiet. Safe. For now, they reached the base of the council tower. Above them, lights flashed and drones floated. Inside, the truth waited. We need minutes, Rika said, just to plug the data in and let the system auto-broadcast. Liam took Lena's hand. You ready? She nodded. Yes, Dad. Ziri looked surprised. Liam froze for a second, then smiled. He didn't correct her. They slipped inside. Alarms didn't go off yet. In the central room, hundreds of screens glowed. Rika connected the chip. A loading bar appeared. Uploading. 18%. 19%. Then the sound of boots. Guards. Keep going. Liam shouted, blocking the door. Ziri grabbed a chair to help him. Rika stood by the chip, watching the bar crawl slowly. 40%. 58%. The guard burst in, but froze when he saw the girl standing in the center of the room. She's just a child. A child who shouldn't exist. His partner growled. Lena stepped forward. I do exist. The guards hesitated. Liam pushed them back, shouting, look at her. She's not a threat. She's proof. Uploading. 92%. 100%. A loud beep. All screens turned white. Then a slow scroll of data. Medical files, videos, voice logs, photos of Lena's life, and the record showing her father's human bloodline. It was out. Live. Set across every major system. In cities across the galaxy, people stared at public screens. Some cried, some looked away, but most watched. A small voice played on loop. I am not broken. I am not wrong. I am both, and I belong. The guards lowered their weapons. One whispered, they lied to us. Rika shut down the terminal. It's done. Liam turned to Lena. She stood proudly, eyes shining. I hugged her, and Liam hugged them both. Outside, the world had changed. The fight wasn't over, but the truth had a face now, and it belonged to a small girl who stood tall when it mattered most. She stood on stage and said, I am both. 3 days later, the council called a meeting. They had no choice. Lena's single quotes S data had gone viral across every system. Millions of humans and aliens saw it. Peaceful protests began in every sector. People carried signs with her name. I am both. Let her speak. No more hiding. Ziri stood beside Lena behind the big stage curtain, heart pounding. You don't have to do this, she whispered. Lena looked up. Calm. I want to. Liam waited nearby, dressed in simple clothes. No badge, no rank. Just someone who had chosen love over law. The stage lights turned on. A voice called, please welcome Lena Ziri. The crowd stood in silence. Lena walked slowly to the podium. Small. Alone. But her voice was strong. My name is Lena, she said. I was born from 2 worlds. My mother is alien. My father was human. He died because people thought our love was wrong. The crowd listened. But I'm still here. I didn't choose to be both. I just am, and I'm proud of it. Many eyes filled with tears. On a screen. Behind her, her DNA chart showed again. Perfect balance, perfect health. A mix no one had believed could survive. But she was living proof. I am not a danger, Lena said. I am a chance, a bridge. I'm not asking for power. I just want my mother to stay. I want to go to school. I want to grow up without running. She paused. Please, don't take her from me. A deep silence. Then clapping. Slow. At first. Then more. Then the whole crowd. Standing. Cheering. The council had no words. For the first time in years, they delayed deportation orders. They ordered a vote. New papers were printed. Ziri and Lena were granted temporary protected status. Not perfect. Not full freedom. But something a start. Weeks later, Ziri opened a small school near the border. It welcomed children from both sides, human, alien, and hybrid. Rika joined as a teacher. The mechanic donated tools. Liam helped build desks with his own hands. One afternoon, Lena ran across the yard with a group of mixed kids. She laughed, she fell, she got back up. Just like any child. Ziri watched her from a bench, hand resting on Liam's. She's happy, Ziri said softly. You gave her that, Liam replied. We gave her that. He smiled. What do you see for the future? He asked Ziri. I looked out at the children. I see a day when no one asks who belongs and who doesn't, when they all just live. Liam nodded. That's a future worth fighting for. One night, the stars were clear. Lena sat beside Liam on the roof. Do you miss your old job? She asked. Liam thought. Not really. You used to send people away. Yes, but now I help them stay. Lena smiled. Can I call you something? Sure. She leaned her head on his shoulder. Can I call you Dad? His eyes welled up. He didn't speak. He just wrapped his arm around her and held her close. Asterisk a single photo sits on a table. Ziri, Liam, and Lena, all smiling, underneath. A handwritten note. Family isn't made by blood. It's made by choice.